Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Good morning, everyone. Today we will continue with the gathas. I think we have done the first two gathas.
Can we suggest Bhante volume a little bit louder?
So now today we have to deal with the third sutta, that is Tatiya Bodhisattva, which is also.
Hi Bhante, I'm sorry, but could you please move closer to the mic, or because we have a hard time hearing you, Bhante.
Yes. Okay. Today we have to discuss the gatha of the third sutta, Tatiya Bodhisattva. It's also quite similar to the previous two gathas. The first two lines are identical. I think the recording is paused. So today we have we should discuss the gatha of the third sutta, Tatiya Bodhisattva. First two lines are identical with the previous suttas, and then the last 2 and 3 lines are different. They have different meaning and different wordings. So anyone is volunteered to translate this gatha. It's not very difficult.
Okay, Bhante, may I translate it, Bhante?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, sure.
Okay, Bhante. So Yada Hagwe Patupawanti Dhamma Atapino Jayato Brahmanasa Vidu Payang Tikati Marasenang Suryo wa Oba Sayaman Salikang. So when the Dhamma, either Bodhipakkhiyas or Arya Satya, arise. I'm sorry?
Okay, I'm sorry, my connection was lost. I couldn't hear the translation, sorry.
Oh, okay. So yes, I'll start the translation again. Okay. So when the Dhammas, either Bodhipakkhiyas or Arya Satya, arise or appear clearly to the Brahman, who is ardent and practicing meditation, he stands destroying the army of Mara, just like the sun illuminates the sky.
Sorry. Thank you very much. Yeah, very nicely translated. I think everyone could understand the meaning clearly, right? So the first one is, as Dr. Rang translated, we have two options. When the 37 Bodhipakkhya Dhammas appear or rise to the urgent meditating Brahmin, or when the Four Noble Truths become apparent to him, become clear to him, he stands destroying the army of the Mara Sena. Mara Sena is army of the Sena is army. Mara Ara is the Mara. Mara Senang. Vidupayang means destroying. It's the present participle. Like the sun, which illuminates the sky. Sun is Surya. Antalikang is sky. Obasyang is illuminating. Like the so we have to take the grammatically. Suryo Antalikang Obasyang Titati. Like the sun stands or exists, stands, illuminating the sky. In the same manner, this Brahmin, to whom these four noble truths appear clearly, he stands destroying the enemy of the Mara. So then, similarly in the comparison, we have to understand when the sun illuminates the sky, he destroys the darkness. So likewise, so here it says only illuminating. So when illuminating the sky, there is a destruction of the darkness. So that's what the comparison is. The Brahmin, this ardent Brahmin, who is the practitioner, Arahant, actually he's the practitioner who is attaining the Arahantship. He destroys the Kilesa, Sena, the army of the defilements. So like the sun eradicates the dark. So if you go into the commentary explanation on this, to not very long, we'll have a look. We'll go into get more information before we go to the next kata. Tatrayang Sankepatto, this is the brief explanation. This words have been explained 2 times already. So they have been explained 2 times. So here there is a little bit of additional meaning. So if I quote it from the text itself, if I go to the commentary, because the commentators say, so there's a slight difference of the approach according to the comment. First, in the first gatha, Buddha so in the first gatha, the Buddha discussed about the dependent origination, the first sutta. Then in the second sutta, he was talking about the nibbana, the eradication of the suffering, anupada nirodha. Then according to the commentary, in the third gatha, but it seems the same. Like if you go into the sutta, you feel that all 3 suttas we find is the same thing, because first he contemplated the dependent origination in the reverse ordinary order. Then he contemplated the dependent origination in the reverse order, and then he contemplated dependent origination in both ordinary and reverse order. So, but in the according to the commentarial explanation, we have a slight difference in the third gatha. I think everyone can
sorry,
see
Bhante. Are you sharing the screen, Bhante? Because it doesn't appear.
No.
Okay. Sorry, Bhante.
Not yet, because I had to copy from the Tipitaka. I think now
okay.
you'll see the screen.
Okay. Thank you, Bhante.
I hope you can see it now, right? So I had to take the quotation from the app. So here, the slight difference is in the, which I have quoted now, which I have pasted now, copy pasted. I'll mark it. Evam Bhagava, thus the blessed Bhagavata, by the Blessed One, Patamam Pachin about the Pachyakara. Pachyakara Pajan means the dependent origination. Dutiyan Pacche Kayadi Gamassa, attainment of the Pacche Kaya is Nibbana. In the other place, we can see that in Nibbana. Then Tatiyang, in the third sutta, Ariya Maggassa Anubhava Pakasanani. Third Gatha emphasizes upon the Anubhava, the greatness or the might of the Ariya Magga, because it destroys all the defilements. It destroys all the defilements. But if you go into the analyze the first two gathas, if you remember, if I go to the gatha itself, I hope everyone can see. Here also he is talking about Sabba Kanka Vapayanti. All the doubts go away. All the doubts are removed. When you know the Nibbana. In the first gatha also we can understand Sabba. Understanding these two would also gives benefits of getting rid of the doubt by vipassana and higher noble attainments. But in this gatha, the third gatha, he's talking about, if you look into the gatha, we can see Vidupayanti Tatimara Senang Suryovo Oba Sayamantalikkang. He is emphasizing upon the destruction of kilesas. So therefore, though there seems the same thing has been repeated, the commentators want to say the first sutta emphasizes about the knowing of the dependent origination. Second sutta emphasizes about the attainment of the Nibbana, Adhigama. Adhigama is normally, we have two types of Adhigama. One Adhigama is if we know, when we know Nibbana by Maggacitta and Palacitta, that is also Adhigama. That is in terms of knowing it as an object. When Magga and Palacitta arise to us, that is also a Adhigama, because it appears in us. Then we have the third type is attaining. Attainment is the suffering connected to us that would have arisen. The suffering that would have arisen, but connected to it. This is our suffering conventionally. Conventionally, we have to say it's our suffering. So then when that suffering is eliminated, we attain the Nibbana. That is called attaining. So when we say Satchikarana, Adhikama, we have three types of, in terms of knowing it with direct experience as an object, Then also we have when the noble qualities arise in us as Chittupada, as mentalities, that is also a certain kind of an attainment, Adhigama. Then when the Nibbana, we attain the Nibbana. Attaining Nibbana means not merely knowing it as an object. We know Nibbana as an object from the Gotra Bhuchitta, but we haven't attained it yet. Attainment of Nibbana and knowing Nibbana and arising of Maggapalacitta are three things. But they happen at the same time moment, like within 2-3 mind moments, everything happens. So that's why we can say this is attainment of Nibbana or knowing of Nibbana. But according to certain shadows, out of these three, the most important is the attainment, that you get rid of the suffering. Then Tatiyang, the third sutta, Ariya Maggasa Anubhava Pakasana. Anubhava is the greatness, might. It destroys all the defilements. So that is also one point that we have to keep in mind, that sometimes even though they appear to be similar, the commentators sometimes have different explanations, deep explanations on these points based on their knowledge in the tradition. So if you go to the next paragraph also, because this same incident was reported in Vinaya, in the Mahavagga-Pāḷi. In the Mahavagga-Pāḷi, I'll come to that after explaining the Gatha. I just want to show that there are slight differences of the meaning of these Gathas. So according to that, Buddha contemplated both Anuloma and Patiloma Paticcasamuppada during the first watch, second watch, and third watch. But the commentators say it is not contradicting with what the information we have in Udāna. We'll come to that at the end of the Gatha explanation of Gatha. So here, what I want to say is, if you look into this sentence, Tisupi Yamesu, in the three watches of night, Evang Manasikatva, having thus contemplated, this is according to the Mahavagga Katha Vinaya, Patamang Udāna, the first utterance, Pachyakara Pachavekkana Vasena, contemplating the four noble, dependent origination. Dutiyang Nibbana Pachavekkana Vasena. Nibbana is cessation of the suffering, cessation of the causes, cessation of the suffering. So Nibbana Paccavekkhana. The second sutta talks about the Nibbana because we are talking about the Avijja Nirodha, Sankhara Nirodha. So this is about Nibbana. First one is contemplating about the causal conditions. Second one is Nibbana. Tatiyang, third one, Magga Paccavekkhana Vasenad. So third one is emphasizing upon the Magga. So the Udāna commentary and the Mahavagga commentary of Vinaya, even though they were maintained by different Bhanaka traditions, they were preserved by different Bhanaka traditions, they still kept the essence, the idea that the first gatha is about the contemplation of dependent origination. Second gatha is about the contemplation of Nibbana and attainment of Nibbana. Third gatha about contemplating the Magga and its might. Might means ability. What is its ability? So that is also that we want to keep in mind. So that then, therefore, based on this view the commentators had, we can see a little bit of a difference in this point. So yada have patu bhavanti dhamma atapino jayato brahmas. When these bodhipakya dhammas arise to him, when the Four Noble Truths become evident to him, right? Tada, at that time, so Brahmano. Now he is not explaining about Brahmana because it has been already explained. So when another point that I would like to share is, now when we are searching for a definition in the commentary or an explanation in the commentary, in a certain sutta, we suddenly go into a certain sutta and we try to find the definition. Sometimes we find it's missing. The definition is not given. There is a very huge chance, very high possibility that definition has been explained in a previous sutta in the same book. Normally, something which has been explained in Digha Nikaya commentary will be explained in the Majjhima Nikaya commentary. The commentators will not ask us to refer to the Digha Nikaya commentary. That is not the tradition. But if something has been explained in a Digha Nikaya sutta, a previous sutta, and the same thing comes in the following sutta, there is a possibility, high possibility, that the commentators may not explain it. So this is why now here the word Brahmin has not been explained in this commentary. Why? It has been explained already in the previous commentaries. But if in a certain sutta, if the context is different, if the tradition wants to give a different meaning, that time they might explain it. But here, since it's the same thing, so they haven't explained the word Brahmin here. Then Tada, at that time, so Brahmano, that Brahmin, Tehi Uppannehi Bodhipakyehi Dhammehi. So with those 37 Bodhipakya Dhammas which have arisen to him, right? Which has arisen to him, that Brahmin eradicates the defilements Vidupayan Tittati Marasena. So that is the first thing. So now we mention that these dhammas appear to him, then he dispels the Marasena, army of the Marasena, army of the Mara. He dispels the army of the Mara. By which? Now the commentators want to add, by which he dispels. Tehi uppannehi bodhipakyehi dhammehi. With those bodhipakya dhammas which arose in him. Or yassava. So you can see another point. Now this is a one clause. Normally we would put, if we were writing, we would put va here, right? Because in English we normally put the o after the clause to separate them. But if you see in the commentarial explanation, the va comes here. The second paragraph, second clause has already started. That is also a point in Pāli. So it's not that the second point is starting from here. It has started already. Then the second word is va. So if someone has experience in reading the commentaries, they know this clause doesn't start from here, it starts from here. That is a way of writing in Pāli. So yassava ariya maggas tatusatama pakata hoti patu bhuta tena ariya magge. So either he dispels the army of the Mara with the Bodhipakya Dhammas, Or another explanation, because we said the Four Noble Truths appear clear to, vivid to him. So to what it appeared clear to, vividly? That is to the Arya Magga, noble path. So he dispels the army of the Mara, tena Arya Maggena. With that Arya Magga, tena Arya Maggena vidupyan tittati marasena. Either he dispels the army of the Mara with that Arya Magga. What is that Arya Magga? Yassava Arya Magga Tatusatya Dhamma Patubhuta. To that Arya Magga, noble path, to which the Four Noble Truths became very vivid. I'll repeat again. He dispels the army of the Mara with the noble path to which these Four Noble Truths appeared vividly. Another explanation is he dispels the army of the Mara with those Bodhipakya Dhammas arose in him. So these are the two explanations. So if we go analytically about with the previous, so these are the points that sometimes commentators do emphasize on these points. Now, if we think, now dispelling the defilements happens because of Bodhipakya or Arya Magga, right? Arya Magga. So Arya Magga is the noble path, But if you go to the first sutta, in the I hope you can see it in the the screen. In the first sutta, no, sorry, I have to give me 1 minute. I have to take it from the Pāḷi, from the Tipitaka. Just give me 1 moment. I'll quote it. Right. So here, in the Tatiya Bodhisutta, they are talking about the noble truths, right? No, sorry, eradication of the path with the noble path, eradication of the defilements with the noble path. But this is what the first sutta, part of the first commentary of the first gatha explains. Here we see, this is from the first commentary of the first gatha, which I didn't give because it was a long explanation. So, kada panasa bodhipakya dhamma chatusatya dhamma va patu bhavanti upajjanti. So, when these bodhipakya dhammas or chatusatya dhammas arise in him or appear in him or pakasanti, become vivid to him, appear in or vivid to him. So, vipassana magga jnanesu, in vipassana and magga jnana. So, according to the first gatha, Vipassana, at the moment of Vipassana also Bodhipakya Dhamma arise, at the moment of Magga also Bodhipakya Dhamma arise. And also in the second paragraph you can see, Arya Satya Dhamma nang panna Lokya nang Vipassana kane, Vipassanaya, Arya Aramana Karana vasena, Lokuttarana Tadimutta vasena, Magga kane, so like it explains. It says, at the moment of Vipassana, Arya Satya Dhammas appear to him. He understands Arya Satya Dhamma in two ways, knowing it as an object and also mundane Arya Satya, first two noble truths. The second two noble truths with the Adimutti Vasena. It means he has an inclined mind towards that. Maggakane, at the attainment of noble path, Nirodha Satchassa Arammanabi Samaya Vasena. He knows Nibbana as an object. Then that is at the moment of Magga. Then Sabbe Sampi, of the all four noble truths, Kichchabi Samevase. So here also another thing, he knows Nibbana as a he knows Nibbana as an object at the moment of Magga. Then also all four noble truths. Nibbana is third noble truth. All four noble truths. Kichabi samaya vasena pakata bhavatu. He attains or he understands the Nibbana, Dukkha, Dukkha, Samudaya, Nirodha, Magga in terms of four functions. Four functions is knowing clearly Dukkha, eradicating suffering, attaining Nibbana, and developing Magga. So knowing Nibbana as an object is one thing. Attaining Nibbana in terms of Satchikarana is another thing, attainment. So that's why for the Nibbana, we have knowing it as an object, and also in terms of functions, it has another type of an attainment, like you attain the Nibbana. So the point I want to emphasize is now here, the four noble truths appear to the person at the moment of Magga, at the moment of Vipassana. In the first Gatha, we have four noble truths appear to him to Magga and Vipassana. But here we can see the third Gatha, if you have gone back, at the moment of Arya Magga. So here we are talking about the Lokuttara part. We are talking about the noble part. In the first two Gathas, they wanted to explain it about with the Lokiya and Lokuttara mixed. But here the commentators are talking at the moment of Lokuttara. So sometimes the commentators at the end of the explanation, sometimes they give this sutta was explained as a Lokuttara sutta, explain the Lokuttara Dhammas. This sutta is explained as Lokiya Dhammas. This sutta has been explained with both Lokiya and Lokuttara. So likewise, there are certain methods of explaining. So here, there's a slight difference from the first two suttas, first two gathas. This is, we are talking about the Lokuttara. Because why is that? We are eradicating the defilements. Vipassana only lessen the defilement. It doesn't eradicate the defilements. So that's why there's a slight difference in it. So here, and also he eradicates the defilements by Bodhipakya Dhammas and also Arya Magga, to which the four noble truths appear. So what is these Bodhipakya Dhammas? According to my understanding, they also should be the Bodhipakya Dhammas which appear at the moment of Magga. It's also talking about the Magga because Lokiya Bodhipakyas come to eradicate defilements. Then what is the difference? The same thing has been explained. Here he's talking, Buddha is emphasizing about the arising of Bodhipakyas. Here he is talking about the appearance of four noble truths to the Magga, or to the, you can also say is Bodhipakya here. Here also it's Bodhipakya. But normally it is Bodhipakya, how to say, in the Magga, when something appears to the Magga, we are giving more emphasis on the wisdom. Right? We are giving more emphasis on the wisdom. Maybe that is the reason they didn't use the word Bodhipakya here. So that is the point that I want to emphasize about these slight differences with the previous suttas. So Tehi Upannehi Bodhipakyehi Dhammehi Vidupyan Tittati Marasena. He stands destroying the Marasena with those Bodhipakya Dhammas which arose to him. And also Tena Arya Maggena Vidupyan Tittati Marasena. He destroys the Marasena with the Arya Magga. Arya Magga and Bodhipakya, to my understanding, should be equal here. Then what happened? The commentators explain what is the Sena, what is the army of the Mara. What is the army of the Mara? Kamate Patama Sena. You can see in the also in the Sutta Nipata, Buddha explains about this is your first army, second army, third army, like that, discussion with the Mara. Nayana Butta Pakarang Marasena. So he's explaining about what is the Marasena. Marasena. So here it should be bold colored. So Marasena is the army of the Mara, which has been explained in other suttas. So if you want to go understand what are the armies of the Mara, go to the suttas given here. These are the quotations, references. Vidupayanto, this is a present participle. Vidaminto, Viddansento, destroying, completely eradicating, destructing. Tittati. Tittati is not explained because Tittati means exist or he stands. It doesn't mean that he is standing. It means he exists. He practices. His existence has been explained here. Tittati always doesn't mean standing with feet, right? Katang, how the simile is given. Suryova obase mantalika, right? Suryova obase mantalika. So we have to divide this. This part should be Suryo iva. Suryo iva obase yang antalika. So what happened? This E is dropped. Then this, because of this following R, this M changed into Ma. That's why we have Obasaya, Suryova Obasaya Mantalika. These are different words. This is a different word. And here we have another combination. So Yata, as if Suryo, now they are explaining Suryo Abbugato, the Surya which has arisen, like come up, arisen. Atano Pabhaya, by its own shine, rays. Antalikang Obasayantova, illuminating the sky, or Antalika is sky. Now, it's not just illuminating the sky, because the simile was given destroying the Marasena. So there should be some comparison, like similarity. Here also, the simile should also have some destruction, but the Gata doesn't say about destructing. Surya is not destructing anything. It's illuminating the sky. So the commentators want to show how they are related. Simile is given with the relationship. So what is the relationship of sun illuminating the sky and the Brahmin eradicating the defilements? So this is the point. Antalikang obasayantova, illuminating the sky, antakarang vidamento tittati. It dispels the darkness. So this is the connection. Like the sun illuminates the sky, dispelling the darkness. This is how the Brahmin eradicates the Marasena. Evan sopi kinasa Brahmano tehi dammehi tenava arya Maggavihārī saccani pativijjantuva Marasena vidukanto tittati. So then this is a concluding sentence, like repeating what has been explained in a nutshell. Evan, thus, sopi, that even that person also, that person, the Brahmin. Actually, this is not the conclusion. It's the simile has been complete, because here we started how, like the sun, in that same manner, that Brahmin also, Kinasa, what Brahmin? Kinasa Brahmano. Kinasa Brahmana means Arahan. Tehi Dammehi. Tehi Dammehi refers to Bodhipakya Dhamma. Right? Tehi Upannehi Bodhipakya Dhamma. Tehi Dammehi. Then Va. Va should come here when you translate, but it's written after the one word. Tehi Damme is the one part. Tena Arya Maggena is another. So Va should have come here, but instead we write Va after the first word. That is also, we will see many times when we refer to the commentaries. Tena Arya Maggena, by that noble path. So here we can see Arya Maggena. Tena Bodhipakyena Arya Maggena. Saccani Pativijjantova, understanding the truths. Marasena Vidupayanto Tittati. He stands, exists, destructing the Mara Senas. So these are the points that I want to emphasize about the Gatha. If you have any questions before we go to the next Gatha.
Bhante? Bhante, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, Bhante, I don't understand about the declension. Yes, Bhante. I don't understand about the declension of the Vidupayang, Bhante. So you said it's a present participle, but in the Gatha itself, why is the ending is like the Nighita? Like that?
Yeah. Oh, this is the normal declination. like gaccham, gaccham. Then then plural we have
okay.
gacchanto. Sometimes this is this stands. This is indicating the difference. It's like a present how to say absolute, nominative absolute.
Oh, so it is nominative absolute, Bhante.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you, Bhante.
This is nominative case. Bahasa.
I see. Okay, okay. Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Any other points to be discussed, or we go to the next gata? Okay, so we'll move to the next gata then. Next gata is with the Brahmi, Huhunka Sutta. Huhunka Sutta, which we have already translated. Yeah. So, anyone? So, Dr. Ryan, can you translate this one also?
Okay, Bhante. So, Yo
Before
Pramano
that, I would also prefer for the students to get idea. Shall we read the sutta without translating? Just read the sutta of that, like just because now I think students can understand the meaning. So if you can read it once before the gata, it will be useful. Can you please read and translate the gata?
Okay, Bhante. Yo Pramano Pahita Pabadamo Nihum Sko Nikasawo Yatato Wadantagu Wusita Pramachariyo Damena So Brahmawadang Wadeya Yasusada Nati Kuhenji Loke. A Brahmin who is one taking out the evil is one who does not utter the voice hum hum as a sign of insulting others, one who is free from impurity, one who is restrained, one who has reached nibbana by means of noble path, and one who has lived the holy life, one for whom there is no defilements that accumulate the threefold round of existence in whatever world, would say the utterance, I am a Brahmin, in accordance with the truth.
Okay, sadhu, sadhu. Very nicely translated. I think very clear to everyone. Sadhu.
Thank you.
And can you just read the sutta once, like in Pāļi only? This one, it's in the. I think you can see in the screen, so we can have an idea. Now everyone knows the meaning. Just roughly reading the sutta once.
Okay, Bhante. Ewang me sutang ekang samayang pagawa uruwelayang viharati natja niranjaraya tire ajapalani krode patatma bi sambote tena phopana samayena pagawa sattahang ekapan langkena niseno hoti vimutti sukha patisangvedi atoko pagawa tatsa sattahassa acayena tamha samadhima uthati atako anyataro hum kacatiko brahmano yena pagawa tenupasangkami upasangkami toa pagawantang saden samodi samodaniyang katang saraniyang witisare toa ekamantang atasi ekamantang tito ko so pramano pagawantang etadagoja kita wata nuko po kotama pramano hoti katameja pana pramana karana damati atako pagawa etamathang widita tayang wela yang imang udanang udanesi.
So I think everyone, most of the students participated in this explanation. we know a Brahmin came to the Buddha. I think everyone can understand the first paragraph. It's very easy, right? Buddha was living after the attainment. Having attained the first, he was living near the Ajapala Nigrodha. And at that time, he was contemplating in Samadhi for the whole 1 week. And then he emerged from that Samadhi. So then a certain Brahmin came to him. His name was Huhunka Jatika, a person who used to utter the word Huhun all the time. Then, and he having discussed with the Buddha, he asked the question, what are the dhammas which make son a Brahmin, and to what extent one is a Brahmin? So that is, this is the sutta. So why I asked to read the sutta is because when you go to a gatha of a certain sutta, the essence has to be, mostly it is connected with the explanation of the sutta itself. So first we have to have an idea of the sutta before we go to the gatha. So as we have already read the sutta and you can understand the sutta, we know the story. This is talking about the qualities of a Brahmin, right? So then Dr. Ryan has translated it. So we'll go to the explanation, grammatical explanation, if there are any to be discussed. So here, how to understand the gatha. Yo Brahmano Bahita Papa Dhammo, who is the Brahmin who has removed or taken out the defilements or the evil deeds. So that person, Nihunko, not uttering the words Huhung with the intention of looking down on others. Nikasavo, who is free from impurities. Yatato, who is restrained, well restrained. Vedanta Gu, we'll come to that word definition when we go to the commentary, who has reached the Nibbana, the end of Sankharas. Vusita Brahmacharyo, who has completed the Brahmacharya life. Then a Brahmin who has such qualities is such a person. Then Yasaloke Kuhinchi Usada Nati, so Dhammena Brahmavada Vadehi. So to the person who has no Usada, I think we have given the word Usada as defilement that accumulate the threefold round of existence, right? Defilements that accumulate the threefold round of existence. So in whom that this Usada is not found, right? It's not found. Kuhinchi is normally we translate wherever, right? Kuhinchi is wherever. Here we in the today when I was reading, I found that Kuhinchi is referring to the Aramana here. We'll come to that point. So we have, because in the vocabulary I have given wherever, so it's normally it should be translated wherever in the world. But when we come to the commentary, we find this is the point. Yassa, this is the commentary explanation. Yassa loka sannivasepi, in the entire world. Loke is loka sannivase. Kuhinchi ekarammanepi, in any of the objects. So this Kuhinchi, according to the commentary, I didn't pay much attention when giving the vocabulary. This Loke Kuhinchi Usada Nati is these Usada, these defilements, accumulations, are not found in any of the objects in the world. That's how they translate. In any of the objects, or wherever in the world. We can say wherever in the world, or more precisely, any of the objects in the world, according to the commentary. So then it's still, if we say wherever, the idea is still found, but precisely they are referring to any of the objects. So Dhammena Brahmavada Vadehi. He utters that he calls himself, utterance, I am a Brahmin, in accordance with the truth. It's not just a saying. His saying matches with his qualities. He is a person who deserves to be called a Brahmin, and what he says is utterly correct. So that's what it means. So this is also, this one is a little bit difficult. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult, challenging to translate this gatha. Then we'll go into the commentarial explanation on this. Tatta. Tatta means in that gatha. Yo Brahmanoti. Brahmana. Yo Bahita Papa Dhammataya Brahmana. Okay, now here Brahmana has been re-explained. Who is a Brahmin? Because of what? Bahita Papa Dhammataya. Because of having removed the evil deeds. Na ditta mangalikataya puhunkara kasavadi papadamma yutto kutva kevalang jati mattakena brahmanyang patidana. So Buddha is telling a person who is jati mattakena brahmanyam patidana. Brahmanyam means the state of a Brahmin. Brahmana state is Brahmanya. So he claims that he is a Brahmin because of his birth. Because of Kevalan Jatima, just because of his birth, someone claims he's a Brahmin. But what is his real qualities? He is not a Brahmin. So he's not a Brahmin. So Buddha is not talking about such Brahmins. Here this says, because this na says, he's not, here we are talking about a Brahmin who has eradicated defilements, removed
Hello, Bhante. Hello.
was lost. So what I was explaining is, now here is the Buddha. The idea is, just because of being born as to a Brahmin family doesn't prevent you from practicing despite the birth. So a person, now it's this phrase explains what are the qualities that prevent someone from becoming a real Brahmin. The birth doesn't prevent from being Brahmin. Birth doesn't entrust you to be a Brahmin. It is not a qualification to be a real Brahmin. So here is telling ditta mangalikataya. Ditta mangalika means Buddha uttered the object, these creatures, hearing these sounds brings you mangala, brings you success. Buddha said, no, real success comes to your own behavior, not because of what you see or what you hear. So ditta mangalikataya means someone who sees for me. So just having such a view will prevent you from being a Brahmin because you are not wise enough. Puhunkara. Puhunkara means he's telling others. He's insulting others. Insulting means looking down about them. And then puhunkara kasava. Kasavadi papadamma yutto. Kasavadi means remaining kilesas. Someone utters hum out of such an ignorant mind that is also done with the kilesa mind, and remaining kilesa like raga, dosa, moha. Papadamma yutto. So anyone who is connected with such evil manners, evil mindsets, and having such wrong views, these are the things which prevents you from being a real Brahmin. That's why I say, na ditta mangalikataya huhunkara kasavadi papadamma yutto hutva. So with such qualities, having such qualities, just because of birth, kevalang jati mattake, just because of birth, one claims that he's a Brahmin. Buddha is not referring to him here. The commentary says, here Brahmin refers to one who has removed the defilements. So then, Brahmano, that Brahmin, Bahita Papadamatta, because of Bahita Papadamatta, you can see this abstract meaning and ablative case. That Brahmin, because of having removed the defilements, Puhunkara Pahanena, because of removing the defilements and eradicating this Puhunkara. So Brahmano Bahita Papa Dhammata Puhunkara Pahanena. Because since he has eradicated all the removed all the defilements, removed all evil deeds, so he become Puhunka by eradicating Puhunkara. Puhunkara means the nature of telling looking down others. It's a verbal act, but verbal act is done with mental force. So when you have eradicated such ignorance in mind, he would not utter such things. So that means of having removed the defilements, he has eradicated the hunkara, so he is called Uhunko, right? Because here we can see one who has eradicated removed the kasava. What is the definition of Uhunka? Uhunka is he has eradicated the quality of saying because he has removed all the evil deeds. And because of he has removed all the evil deeds, he's free from his ragadi kelesa is absent. So it's called Nikasava. Then Bhavananu Yoga, then another word Yatatta. Bhavananu Yoga Yutta Chittataya. One explanation is he is involved in Bhavana. He is involved in meditation, developing Samatha and Vipassana. Another explanation, Sila Sangmena Va, Sangyata Chittataya. His mind is very calm and restrained. Sangyata Chitta, because of Sila Sangvara. So he's a very restrained person. Here also you can see Va has come in between. This is one explanation. This is another explanation. So Va has come in between that second explanation. Sila Sangvena Sangyata Chittataya. So Yatatto. Yatatto has two definitions. Either he is involved in meditation or either he is restrained because of his Sila. Then Vedantagu. You can see here. These are the words. Yatatto Vedantagu Usita Brahmacharya. One who is a Brahmin who has removed the defilements. He can be called Nihunka, Nikasava, Yatatta, Vedantagu, Vusita Brahmacharya. These are the words that we can use to be. So the commentary is explaining these definitions. Vedantagu. So here Vedantagu is explained. Chatumagga Jnana Sankatehi Vedehi. Because Vedantagu, you can see, it can be developed in this way. Veda is one, Anta is one, Gu is one. Right? There are three words. So Veda. So what he explained, the commentary explains the Veda first. Chatumagga Jnana Sankatehi Vedehi. So this is Vedehi Antagu. Vedehi. This is how the word Veda has to be declined in the instrumental plural. Instrumental plural with Chatumagga Jnana Sankatehi Vedehi. So Veda here means Chatumagga Jnana, four noble paths. Sankata is called Chatumagga Jnana Sankatehi Vedehi. Veda which is called Chatumagga Jnana, which are called the Chatumagga Jnana. Right? Then Anta is explained. Vedehi Antang. Antang means accusative case here. Antang Sankara Paryosana Nibbana. What is the end? Anta is end. Now here, regarding Veda, the commentator explained with the previous word. Chatumagga Jnana Sankatehi Vedehi. Now regarding Anta, he has followed. Anta is explained the following word. So this also, sometimes this can be, we have to be a little bit sharper in understanding how the commentary goes. There is, sometimes in these manners, there is no consistency of explanation. Veda is explained with the previous word, which was written before that. Now, Anta is explained afterwards, right? Afterwards. So we can also, Sankara Paryosana Nibbana Anta could have done, but when we keep on reading, this seems to be a very nice flow. But if you are objectively observing as a beginner sometimes, you may find it a little bit difficult. But this is how the commentary has gone because of the flow of the language. So Antang is Sankara Paryosanam Nibbana. Nibbana, which is the end. Paryosanam is ending of Sankara. Because at the end of Sankara means when you attain the Nibbana, Sankara doesn't exist anymore. So Anta is referring to Nibbana, right? So Anta. Then Gu. So then another word is Vedanangva Anta. Vedanangva Anta. Vedanang Antang can be Veda because this doesn't have a sub-commentary. I think this is referring, because sometimes Veda can refer to wisdom also. Veda can refer to wisdom. So this is called the end of the wisdom, because Veda can be wisdom. End of the wisdom means you come into the, when you come into the noble attainments, especially the arahantship, you come to the end of the wisdom. Maybe that is, I'm not sure about how to go the translation. I'll discuss with one of my friends and try to get, because this commentary, you can also give us suggestions on this. This commentary doesn't have a sub-commentary, right? Because the word Veda can have very few meaning. Veda can refer to the books of the Veda. Veda can refer to the wisdom. Here it refers to the Maggavihāri. So likewise, Veda can have few meanings. So Vedanangva antanga, antang. So here Vedehi antang. Vedehi antang means antang. So before we come to that, we'll finish the gatatta. Gatatta means, gata means gone. Utta is the abstract meaning, a ablative meaning, because he has gone. Because he has gone, right? So this is the alternative explanation. Chatumagga jnana sankatehi vedehi antang sankara paryosang na nibbanang gatatta. He is called Vedanta Guru because he has gone to the nibbana, which is the ending of sankara, which is called antang, which is the ending of sankara, with the four noble paths, which are called Veda. So he went to the nibbana with Veda. Nibbana, which is the anta. He went to the anta with Veda. He went to the end with Veda, due to Veda. That anta is nibbana, which is the ending of sankara. That Veda is four noble paths. Right? So the first explanation. Second explanation is Vedanangva antang gatatta. So here antang seems to be the end, like the topmost, like ending. If you have attained something, completed something, you have reached the end. If you have completed a book, you have reached the end of the book. So here it seems, my personal idea is, this Veda refers to the noble paths, because this is what it is. So anta is a very common noun, commonly known noun. So he has gone to the end of the wisdom. Maybe that is what it refers. So second explanation, Vedanangva antangatatta Vedagu. He has gone to the end of the wisdom. He has come to the utmost wisdom. We are not talking about the omnisciency. We are talking about the arahanthood, right? Arahanthood. So these are the two explanations of Vedanta Gu. So why this Gu comes? That is because of Gatatta. So this is like this, if you explain it, gum, the root gum plus U suffix. So then we have, it become Gu, right? Actually, according to the Kachayana, this is Ru suffix, right? This, what the function of Ru is, it get dropped, according to tradition I'm talking, it get dropped with the, together with removing the last consonant of the vowel. Got it actually. This is the last consonant. Last, when the suffix Ru is put, the last consonant also get eradicated. Eradicated means elided with the R. So GA become, GA plus U become U. This is how Gu comes according to this explanation, traditional explanation. Right. So Vedanta Gu has been explained in two ways. So because a person who has removed the evil deeds is called a Huhunka, right? He doesn't say Huhung and all. Nikasava, without impurities, who is restrained with a restrained mind. Then who has reached the end of the Nibbana, end of the Sankaras, Nibbana, or he has reached the end of the wisdom. And then Vusita Brahmacharya, the next word. Yes, the Vusita Brahmacharya. Right? Vusita Brahmacharya means, Vusita means lived. This is a passive voice word. Vusita is a passive word. Right? Normally it should be Vusita. I don't know why Vusita. Vusita. Sorry. Vusita is a passive voice verb. Who has lived. Magga Brahmacharya sa Vusitatta. Due to he has lived, completed. Lived here means completed. The Magga Brahmacharya. He has lived the holy life, the noble holy life. Magga Brahmacharya. because Sila Samadhi Panya in the Lokuttara level also he has completed. Vusita Brahmacharya, he has called a Vusita Brahmacharya because he has completed the practice. Dhammena so Brahmavadam Vadaya. Right? So it explains what is this says. Dhammena so Brahmasaramadi. Brahno ahanti etang vadam dhammena nyayena vadaya. That one is according to the Dhamma. Dhammena nyayena vadaya. Right? He would call him a person who calls himself a Brahman. That his saying is proper. Right? Then we come to the last part. Yassa loke kuhinchi usadanati. So Dhammena, right? Dhammena Brahman. So then, So the last verse is Dhammena. So this Dhammena Brahmanyayang Vadaya should come at the end. So first we have to translate this part. Yassa, in him, to in him. Sakala Loka Sannivase. So we can see here we have Yassa Loke Kuhinchi Usada Nati. Loke Kuhinchi Usada Nati. Right? Loke Kuhinchi Usada Nati. So here Loke has been explained. Sakala Loka Sannivase. Sometimes Loka can refer to the world, the space. Loka can refer to the beings who are living, right? So here it can refer to the world, or it can also refer to beings, right? Sakala Loka Sannivasati. In the entire world, see, the entire world of living beings or in the spatial world, Kuhinchi. So Kuhinchi is explaining what is this Vyara? Because if something is or if such a person, now to a person there is no defilements in any of the objects, the whole five Usada is not found in any of the objects, completely eradicated. When such a person calls himself a Brahmin, that saying is according to the truth. Why is that? The definition of Brahmin, according to the Buddha, the one who has removed the defilements, evil deeds. So it is, he says, that is how one becomes a Brahmin. So in definition, in conclusion, the Brahmin asks how to become a Brahmin. Then Buddha mentioned this is how you become a Brahmin. A person who has removed all these Bahita Papa and all these, who is a Nihunka, Nikasava, he's the one who says it, I am a Brahmin, that is correct. Yeah. So if you have any questions.
So Bhante?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Bhante, in the commentary, the word katata.
Okay.
So the word katata, this word has to connect with two sentences. Hello, Bhante? Hello, Bhante?
Which place?
When you explain
I cannot see which place you are referring to.
Vedantagu.
Patata?
Yes, in the Vedantagu, here there's a Vedanang Wag Andang Katata. So that having said the Katata has to connect with,
right?
Yeah,
Right.
this Katata has to connect.
Gatata.
Yeah, has to connect
Okay,
with the Sankhara Pariyosana Nibbana and Vedana Andang, right?
Yes, yeah, two different. Antang චතුමග්ග සංකාතේහි චතුමග්ග ඥාන සංකාතේහි වේදේහි සංකාර පරියෝසානං නිබ්බානං ගතත්තා is one definition. Vedanang va antang gatatta second definition.
I see. Okay, thank you, Bhante.
I hope you can hear me.
Yes, Bhante.
Yes, hi Bhante. Hello.
Okay, hello.
Yes, Bhante. So I also have the
Hello,
same.
I can hear you.
Yes, yes. I also have the same question about those about that word Vedantagu. So here there are two explanations. Why did you hesitate to say that in the second definition, Veda also refers to Chatumagga Jnana? Is it because the ending of the word Chatumagga Jnana Sankatehi? Because the ending is the ehi, so it's the apt instrumental case. So maybe it's only modifies the word or explains the word Vedehi. Is it the reason?
You mean this one?
Yeah, because so they are the same case. So that's why we can say that the Chatumagga Jnana Sankata it modifies the word Vedehi, so they have the same thing. So, but why did you hesitate to say that the Chatumagga Jnana Sankhata also modifies the word Vedanang in the second part? Is it because they have a different case ending?
Yes. Yes, because it was because of that, but it seems like it's the same thing they are referring to.
Yes, that's what I think. They should be the same thing. Yeah.
I thought this is the Chatumagga Jnana because if it was a different meaning, normally commentators, they are same thing. Yeah, if it was a different thing, commentators would explain this Veda.
Right.
Yeah,
but I guess yes.
As you said, because it was the different case ending, my mind was like a little bit confused in that.
Right. That's what I thought as well. Okay, but I think they should be the same, right? Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And also here, I think I'd like to make a suggestion on this. You can think on this. If I make it yo here, now I'm thinking on this because the commentators haven't given it. If you read this commentary again, I'm also suggesting that so. I gave it so here. This is how because when I read the commentary beginning, I felt like that. But if we yo right here, so then it becomes like the same thing. Yo brahmano bahita papadammo, which is a brahmin who is a bahita papadamma, who has removed the defilements. Which is a who is a nihunka mikasava yatatta vedantagu usita brahmacharya, and in whom these defilements usada is not found in any object in the world. That one, he's saying himself is a brahmin, is according with the truth, right? So what do you think if we put yo here? Does this match? Does it seem okay? This is the idea that came to me when I was reading it now.
But I think according to the commentaries, then it should be the soul, right, Bhante? Because in the commentaries, it's yo brahmanoti, and then
yeah.
Right. Yes. So the next sentence it starts with so brahmano. Right? Yes.
So here, right?
Yeah. Yes, Bhante.
You mean this so, right?
I don't see I don't see what
one,
you're
right?
pointing on the screen yet. Yes, that's so.
Yeah,
yes,
that was the
so.
same reason which caused me to put so in the beginning.
Yes, I think it should be so, Bhante, because of that. Yeah.
Yeah. This one. Yeah. That was the main reason I put so here, because of this so. And whenever, okay, right. Because when I was reading again, I felt such a thought. Will it be possible to put your other questions?
So Bhante, here the Usita Brahmacharya is a short or long U. Hello, Bhante?
According to the commentary is short, right? Is it? According to the commentary is short.
Yeah.
Philologically, it is short, right?
I think it's short, so I don't know.
Normally, Vusita, yeah, in commentary it says it's short. Then in the sutta, it says long. Okay, that's the problem. The commentary, it is given as short. In the sutta, it's given long. Maybe because of meter. I'm not sure.
But if it's a meter in the commentary, they will directly say it's long U, right?
You can also try by checking the meter. Say that, right? Sometimes they may not say it.
But I mean,
you can, because you are studying, because I'm not familiar with these meters, so you can check whether it is matches. Like if you,
I mean, when they comment,
ask another Sadhu about this meter.
I mean, when the commentator explains, at least the bold letter should be long U, right? The bold letter should not be short U.
Yeah. In that case, yeah. Should be long here, at least, right? Yeah. So that's why I just changed it here when I saw it. I make it Vusita because Vusita, but if I go to the text in the chapter Sangayana, they give it long. Some such mysteries of the text. There can be such things.
But how about the Sri Lanka
normally
version?
It's vas, right? Vusita comes from vas. This is how Vusita is right? Was to live, was then stop. That I have to go and check the library. So normally this va become u, right? Then to philology, right?
Yeah, I'm just wondering why the commentator, when they give the bold letter, is become short.
Maybe it was in the commentator's text. The reference he had was originally short. Maybe this lengthening happened during at a later time, as a scribal error, maybe, or maybe in the Sangayana or something. Possible, these things. But it's a big, if it was a, but it's a possible one. Because if they were, okay, I'll let you know, because if we, now you may not understand this later, but if I let you will see how these words are really connected. Like this is Wu in Sinhalese, okay, and this is Wu in Sinhalese. You can see now this is long Wu, this is short Wu in Sinhalese letters. So if this was taken from a Sinhalese script, you can see how this long and short vowels can easily misunderstood.
No, the down, one is open, one is closed. We can see.
No. You can see, right?
No, the
so
second
sometimes,
one is the tilde.
Huh?
Because
Sorry?
the second one is closed, and the first one is not closed.
No. You can see. I'll make it.
No, it's the tilde.
Closed,
it's the tilde.
Right. This is the difference, right? It's very difficult to judge for a normal, right? So this is the V and V. You see the difference. So if someone is not very sharp, we can clearly have. But for example, R and R is very clear, right? This is short R. This is long R. For the long R, we put, this is the long letter R. This, if you want to write the R with this thing, we put this mark. This mark is for the long R vowel. But you see U and E, this is the difference. But if this was taken from the Sinhalese scripts, there is a very high possibility that even now when they type in Sinhalese, in some type books typed, we even ourselves cannot recognize whether this is long or short, because they are very similar. Just a very short difference is there.
I see.
So, but in Myanmar, if you say U and U, they are a little bit different, because 1 and 2, right? But in Sinhalese, this is a huge problem for even for us these days. Sometimes we face this problem, whether this is long or short.
Maybe.
Yeah, just a suggestion. Yeah. Okay. So, shall we call it a day, Sally?
Yes, Bhante. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Sadhu.
Sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante.
So, wish you all the best, and we'll meet on